dress. So they gave him another dress at 3 years old, right? Then when he became 10 years old, he said, oh, I gave him a wrong dress. I have to give him the right dress. Give him another dress, right? But then he becomes, soon inshallah, when he becomes 18 or 19, that dress, whatever he has, he can wear all the way till he lives. 100 years old, he can still wear that, right? So, was that a defect? No. What the dress she gave when he was infant was the right dress for him, right? When he was 2, there was the right dress for him. When he was 10, he was the right dress for him. It was not a mistake she made. It was based on the perfection of that kid, right, Nabil. And when he becomes 18, he already reached the peak. So from that, all his life he can wear the same dress. There's no difference. So humanity itself, Allah SWT created the humanity. Humanity was going through progression, right? So Allah SWT gave the book which fit them, based on understanding, based on a thing. Allah gave different books of different prophets, many different came. Sahih were given, books were given. That's how Allah did. The ruling never changed. Allah SWT gave the ruling exactly the same thing, right? What changed was, it was catered to the community. Because no prophet came for the entire humanity except Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every prophet was for a community. For even in the time of Bani Israel, there were prophets at the same time. The one prophet for one tribe, another prophet for another tribe. There were so many prophets at that time, right? So why? And everybody had some teaching, something which was catered to their own people, right? Like Jesus himself says in the New Testament, I have not been sent but for the lost sheep of Israel. He said, I'm just for these people, not for the humanity. He says that in the New Testament. They want to twist it, their problem, right? But he says that clearly. So that's what everybody was given. But Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came at the peak of humanity, right? So that book, because we all reached the peak, is till the day of judgment. See now, subhanAllah, the beauty of the Quran, you have the Quran in time of Sahaba radiallahu anh. They understood it differently. The same verse we read with more understanding, we understand it differently, and it always makes sense, right? See about the Surah Yasin. What is that verse about the Falaki Yasbahun, right? The right? That verse, they didn't know about revolution and revolution, two movements, right? But Ibn Abbas and Ghazali talked about two movements, right? About the sun, right? So as time advanced, the same verse, subhanAllah, because Allah Ta'ala is the Hakim, He knows what words to choose, what time. So the Quran is a perfect book. Till the day of judgment, it will appeal to every intellect. Even to an ignorant person, a very uneducated person, a very smart scientist, it will appeal to all of them. So Allah gave a book which appeals to everyone. It doesn't mean previous books were imperfect. It was good for that time. But this book, because Rasulullah is a book, Nabi till the day of judgment, and plus one more thing is, for Jesus, now you say, He revived the dead, right? You can say, I never saw it. Right? You can throw it out, I didn't see it. Right? And you can say any miracles, you can say, I wasn't there. And even about Rasulullah splitting the moon, say, okay, I wasn't there. You can say that, right? But what is the revelation, what is the miracle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which we have physically with us till the day of judgment? What is that? Quran. Nobody can deny it. Right? You cannot say I wasn't there. Here it is, bro. Read it. You can't deny it. Alhamdulillah, Allah gave him proof till the day of judgment. So that is the answer for that. That yes, it was not imperfect. That's why Allah did it. And yes, you can say it's a test also, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to test you in every different situation. By giving money, by depriving you of money, by giving you different books, different prophets, to see whether you accept it, right? That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala test also for the Jews and that's why they get double the reward. Allah says in the Surah Al-Imran that if a person has believed in the previous book and believes in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and follows it right, they'll get double the reward for everything they do. And يَأْكُلْ مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ مِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِهِمْ. They will eat from above and we are below. They'll give them, Allah will give them so much risk to them. So anybody he buys, because it's a test that they believe the previous book they found. Like now, what is Nawfil? What was it? Warqa bin Nawfil. And he was Almas is one of them who believed in both. Right? SubhanAllah. So anybody who gets the chance to do Salman Farsi, radiallahu anh, he believed in both. So such people get double the reward. Yes. Yes.
It has palindrome also. So there are 7 instances in Quran where palindrome is used, and by scientific concept also it is true that they don't trespass. So the planet stays in the same orbit, and it keeps moving, it goes to the other side, west, the same ladder. So you go both the ways. It's
MashaAllah, that's a very good. MashaAllah, sister said that Kullu fi falakin yasbahun is also palindrome. And actually, my brother Sheikh Rahman Ali Khan also says that. Ustad Rahman Ali Khan also says that mashallah, people use word palindromes, but nobody can use sentence palindromes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one. There's so many palindromes in the Quran. Entire sentence is a palindrome. You know what a palindrome is, right? Like if you read forward or backward, it's the same thing. Like any English word also, if there is a word, if you read forward or backward, the same thing is called a palindrome. Can you give me an example? Like tartar sauce, like tartar. Alright, that's a very stupid example.
Race car.
Anyone else?
Race
What?
car. Race car. Race car.
Race car. That's a good one. Race car, right? But that's like when it says Malayalam. Okay, maybe your dad thought that, but that's I didn't know Malayalam was a palindrome. I have to give you that. But anyway, so but alhamdulillah, it's very hard to make a sentence that is a palindrome. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also a palindrome. There are many palindrome sentences like in the Quran. But if we're going off topic. Anyways, coming back to the topic, we asked the questions and all. So my point is, next weekend, you know what we have, right? What we are going to have next weekend here.
It's not going back to the topic, it's proving the authenticity of Quran.
Yes, mashallah.
Because scientific concept also, like Kullun fi falaki, so by scientific concept also, you go the letters, like all the planets stay in the same orbit, so they don't trespass. So by scientifically also it is true, and again it's a palindrome.
Yes, that's mashallah, that's a good point. But yeah, one thing to know about using science. I use the scientific facts in the Quran, but remember one thing though, science is mutable, Quran is immutable, right? Scientific facts change. Like, what do you know about what you call global warming, right? But look up, when you go home, do your homework. Before 1970s, scientists believed in global cooling. In 1980s, when the first scientists proposed global warming, they called it ignorant. But by end of 1980s, everybody believed it was global warming. So before 1980s, scientists were in consensus, including NASA scientists, that believe it's global cooling. Then they said it's global warming, right? So theories change. Why? Because it's immutable. They don't know. They're not perfect. They change. Propose a theory, it goes down the drain. Propose another theory, right? It's awesome, but just find out that's a fallacy. That's a problem. But Quran is immutable. Why? Because from the one who is infinite knowledge, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can quote these things, but remember, we don't believe in Quran because of this, right? We're just telling you cite things which is in the Quran. It doesn't matter if it changes in the future. Quran is perfect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what the point is, right? Inshallah. Okay, so next weekend, yes.
I have a question. So, you know the story of the king that you mentioned that saw the do you use that ever to share the message of Islam?
No. Me personally, Dr. Naik can use that, not me. I use only the monotheism things about Veda. Because my point is, get them to monotheism, and once they agree with monotheism, tell them, who worships one God anyway? Muslims are the only one who do it. They talk about the Quran. The Quran has been revealed, talk about monotheism. That's my dialogue. But there are people who do talk about Dawah, talk about the Muhammad prophecies in the Bible, in the Vedas, the Bhavishya Purana, in the Atharva Veda, some Veda we talked about. They use those things, right? That's also you can do, yes. But I prefer talking about monotheism.
Can we use it depend on the person to person? If the science guy is there and he's very
of course, science you can definitely use. I'm just saying, remember to be clear that it's a immutable fact. That's what I'm saying. But of course, it's not that you cannot. I use it too. There's so many things in the Quran which really appeal to the intellect, right? Like even the embryology fact about the baby's birth and how the baby is formed. Subhanallah, fatabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqin. Of course, you can use that. I'm not saying that. Yes.
I have a quick question. So one of my Indian friends asked me that if he converts, then what will happen to his marriage life? Because what if his wife doesn't convert?
Okay, mashallah, it's a very good topic. Mashallah, everybody for asking this question. Very, very important. Islam was revealed in the Quran, and if you find out, but tadrij, in progression, right? It's very important. Why did Allah subhanahu do that, right? Imagine this, Sahaba radiallahu anh, in the beginning, used to pray salah while they were drunk. You know that, right? That's why Allah did it tadrij. It's very important. For example, this case is brother talked about. If a brother wants to become Muslim, tell him no problem. Don't give him fatwa, you have to haram alayk, you have to leave your wife. No, let him be with his wife. Don't make it harm for him. No problem, tell him, stay with your wife, no issues. Bring your wife, bring her over. My wife and your wife will talk, let's do lunch together, let's do dinner, take him for do that. Inshallah, she will accept it herself. She will do it and she will change. That's a special case. We should not go and marry a mushrik. But somebody's already married to a mushrik. That's a special case. You have to ask the ulama about it. You cannot tell him, no problem. Your marriage will be still valid. You can stay married to her. No issues. Your marriage doesn't break. Bring her. Let's go to the mosque together. Let's do some events together. When she sees that, the community, the love, the friendship and all, she will want to change. That will happen,
She will
inshallah.
be seeing her husband
Yes.
doing same thing. And
Same thing, she will change, yes.
his what before he is doing, and later he is doing something which is very
Yes.
good to her, and then she automatically changes.
That's why it is. That's why we should not, anybody who is reverting, you have to, it's a different law. We should not give him fatwa. Of course, that doesn't mean I should go and marry a mushrika, but means somebody who's already married, it's a different law for them. Same with a Christian person or anything like that. Inshallah, make it always yassiru wa la tu'assiru, bashiru wa la tunaffiru. Rasul said, make it easy for people, don't make it hard on them. Give them bashara, give them glad tidings. Don't make them such that they'll hate it. Don't tell them hellfire, 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 hellfire. Tell them about Jannah, about the beauty, about the mercy, about the love, about the kindness. Attract them into it. This Islam should be inside out, not outside in. It should not be forced on you. It should be from within you, right? It's like a natural progression. That's how Islam should be. It should not be forced on you. That's why my kids also, we have logical discussion rather than force. You have to do it. Why? Because I said so. That's why. That doesn't sell well, That means behind the door the kid will do what he wants to do. That's not how Islam is done. Okay, inshallah. Okay, inshallah. So few things. Next weekend, inshallah, we'll have the open house, right? Who's not going to come? Inshallah, we are coming, right? Inshallah. So make sure, so like that we come, bring others, take these cards here, pass it on to your neighbors. Everyone make a point. It's like, even if you see the sign, I told my friend, my co-worker, he was so happy. He's like, oh, I want to come for that. I took my co-worker from Bloomberg to another event, iftar event, It's not we're not trying to, of course we want them to become Muslim, but we just want to be friendly with them, right? Tell them, it's a nice open house, you have a celebration, Diwali just passed by, come on over. You're happy anyway, we want to celebrate with you. Come, let's talk about the commonalities between us. Call them in a positive tone. You heard that, right, brothers? Right? Don't go and say, you're haram, you're going to hell, Jahannam anyway. I want to save you. Come on over, I'll tell you how to be saved. No, not that. Tell them, we are friends anyway, we are humans. We're going to share what we know about you. Let's talk, right? Let's have a dialogue. This is a good thing. So take a few, take it home, give it to your neighbors, give it to your friends. Yes, brother.
Christians are okay?
Yes, everybody should be good. Yeah, this is a catered to Hinduism, but a mosque, everybody is welcome. People say, I tell people, anytime you go into a mosque, people always welcome you. Nobody, they don't care.
I'm just saying it should be useful.
Yeah, it will be useful for them also. It will be useful for them also.
Topic will be Hinduism, but better to call them on the which is.
No, the thing is, it's always good to call them. Because call everyone. It's just an excuse to call. Maybe what if they don't live one more week? Just call them. You never know, right? Maybe they come, they see something good, they change their life, right? Inshallah, you never know. Of course, we will have different events also. I believe Asif and his team will do more events like this, inshallah. And it's not, we're not seasonal da'is, right? We're not seasonal. We're Muslim, we're not seasonal, right? You know what a seasonal person means, right? We do it when it feels like, when it's good. When say, no, we should do it all year, right? Inshallah. So let's make it a niyyah, then inshallah we should do it. It should be a part of our lives. Okay, yes. They need to RSVP for this event. Okay, brothers? Tell them please RSVP, yes, because they need to get a head count and all.
So just one request from everyone, inshallah. If you take these, they're all over the lobby, right when you put on your shoes, there's enough of them there. So I'm requesting from everyone to, inshallah, try to cover your colleagues, right, at work. If you're especially in the IT department, you're going to have tons of brothers and sisters. I'm trying to tell you that, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of brothers, there's a lot of opportunities there at work, right? Secondly, if you have friends, if you go to a grocery shop, if you go to a gas station that you have known somebody, tell them, hey, there's a special event we're doing for you, right? And if whatever it takes to get them to, inshallah, come here. The topic here, just so you know, you could invite anyone, right? The topic mainly is monotheism. That's what the topic is. Even if it says Islam and Hinduism exploring similarities, the idea that we wish to, inshallah, explore, like Sheikh was saying, that we want to share the truth that is inside it. So with that said, do take that, cover your streets, cover your workplaces, and I'm going to request for Awais, inshallah, not just thank him, but ask him to perhaps ask a few questions from people, so we end on a good note, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Like, one question about what?
Anything. Give him a special bag of candy this way. Give out 2 bags. Go ahead.
Okay, inshallah. So you want me to ask a hard question, right? To make it hard, because of the bag, right?
Show him the bag.
Okay. Okay, this huge bag of candies coming. Inshallah. Okay. Okay, so let's say, Allah. Yeah, for that, let's do one thing, right? How many minutes? We have time, right?
Can we take 10 minutes?
10 minutes. Okay, so let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's do a practice session. How about that, right?
Sure, that is better.
So let's get one brother from the audience who's ready. Come on over. So we'll do role play. Inshallah, we'll do role play. We'll make one person. Zaid will come next. Okay, who else? We'll take Zaid also. You want to do it?
You got one right here.
Okay. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so he's come. Inshallah.
The typical question they ask. So God created you a Muslim.
Okay, good. So now who's going to answer? You want to come, Nabil?
Wait, I didn't finish the question.
Wait, there's one more else. Nabil, come on. No, just do it. It's good. Okay, great. Come here. You're doing Dawah, okay? Okay, Nabil is a Dawah table representative, right? He's going to own this table now. He's giving Dawah now, Nabil. And this, what's your name, brother? Sharif. Okay, this, for now, what's the role? You'll be like an atheist, or what's your role?
Hindu.
Okay. Okay, so now, of course, that's not Allah's father knows the Iman. Okay, this brother walks in and he's asking questions to Nabil. Okay.
So, hey, how are you? Good to see you. So, you are a Muslim, right? And I was created a Hindu, so how do